Today, the 8th of November 2016, the president is about to be chosen. Our two candidates are Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. They are going to take the place of Barack Obama and rule USA. In this video, we will present the foreign policy. The USA and China made an agreement about a lower CO2 release in both countries back in 2014. That will show that USA and China actually can practice teamwork and gain historical agreements. At that time, it was Barack Obama who was the president. If China and USA could not agree about this issue, the rest of the world would not follow them. China and the USA are the strongest countries in the world. They are also the worst to release CO2 into the world, and therefore they are pioneers. Obama wished that everyone will help despite of earlier conflicts. For that reason, China is still an issue today and to the current presidential election. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have a very different perspective on foreign policy. One of the issues is China and the USA. How do Americans see China and their collapse in the future? What is their plan for the country? Clinton means the partnership between America and China shall be increased. While that, Trump would like to investigate China for unfair trading practicing and afterward punish them. Clinton desired to raise US and China hand in hand. She means people are best together. Trump will rather make the US the greatest of all. Clinton fight for the collective and Trump's for the individual in the USA.
Another issue is Russia. Vladimir Putin is a very powerful and dangerous man. Furthermore, he does many controversial things that the United States of America do not like. For instance, when the Russian military invaded Crimea. Russia is also a very important issue, especially due to the Cold War, because the relationship between the United States of America and Russia still is very bad. Furthermore, Russia is the country most likely to start World War III. The fact that Russia has armed their forces has only made the situation between USA and Russia even worse. However, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are very different in their policies about Russia. Hillary Clinton wants to ratchet up sanctions against Russia for its intervention in Ukraine, help wean Europe off of Russian energy dependence, and expand US missiles defense in Eastern Europe. However, Donald Trump wants to forge a working relationship with President Vladimir Putin, urge European states to put diplomatic pressure on Russia for its Ukraine intervention and increase pressure on NATO allies in Europe to contribute more to the alliance.
Another issue of the foreign policy is immigration, which is definitely a subject of current matter. There are thousands and thousands of people from especially Syria who are immigrating from their shattered homes in demolished areas ravaged by war. These people are in the need of others to help them and let them into their countries. Someone has to take the responsibility of these people. However, not every country and certainly not every politician think that it is a good idea to do so, as such a task will burden a state a lot. Therefore, this is a very discussable and relevant issue. To illustrate the influencing factor of immigration, you can profitably discuss this in a historical perspective. By the looks of the very multi-ethnic population of America, it is obvious that the country has seen a lot of immigrants through the years. One example is the countless of workers who entered the country in the early 1900s to seek a better life by getting their share of the numerous jobs, which were up for grabs. This massive immigration from all over the world contributed to a boost in the American economy, although it ended up causing a lot of obstacles in the form of lack of opportunities and jobs to the American citizens. The Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton certainly has some very socialistic stances. Among other things, she wants to defend and potentially even expand on President Obama's deportation relief actions. And when it comes to the undocumented, she wants to allow a path to citizenship and allow them to purchase health insurance. Finally, she urges to tighten the focus of the enforcement on the deportation of violent criminals instead. However, Hillary Clinton is also often described as a hawk in connection to foreign policy, of course. Evidently, she has on 7 different occasions, for example the conflicts with Iraq in 2002 and Pakistan in 2007, endorsed the use of force by the American military. Therefore, the word hawk can be used to describe her very forceful and war-promoting actions. On the other hand, the Republican candidate Donald Trump has some very contradicting stances. In fact, they are directly opposite. Trump wants to expand fencing and increase aerial surveillance and border patrols, organize a mass deportation of the undocumented, expand e-verify, and finally withhold funding from so-called sanctuary cities. In general, you can say that he simply wants to make it impossible for immigrants to enter the United States of America.
The Obama administration has made the battle against the self-proclaimed Islamic State a top priority in the Middle East. The self-proclaimed Islamic State is a militant Sunni movement that has conquered territory in western Iraq, eastern Syria, and Libya. The self-proclaimed Islamic State has tried to claim political and theological authority over the world's Muslims. The Islamist movement emerged in 2014 as a major security threat. The November 2015 terrorist attacks in Paris that killed almost 130 civilians demonstrates the Islamic State's threat beyond the Middle East. The United States and its allies are particularly concerned that the citizens who travel abroad to fight with the Islamic State may return to commit similar atrocities, or that their nationals could be remotely inspired to commit or support acts of terror. For example, in 2015, the FBI arrested more than 50 individuals for domestic activities related to the Islamic State. At the same time, some policymakers and politicians in these countries voiced fears that terrorists would infiltrate their borders, along with the hundreds of thousands of immigrants fleeing unrest in the Middle East and North Africa. However, there are different opinions about Islamic states and how they should handle this conflict. Hillary Clinton, who represented the Democratic Party, says President Obama waited too long to begin arming and training moderate Syrian rebels, and the delay, she says, has contributed to the rise of the self-proclaimed Islamic State and other militant groups in the Middle East. Furthermore, one of her other stances is to arm and support Kurdish and Sunni Arab fighters. Moreover, she does also want to conduct more U.S. airstrikes, establish a no-fly zone over parts of Syria, and fight the Islamic State with a coalition of Western and Arab states. Whereas Donald Trump, who represents the Republican Party, says that the United States should wait out the conflict in Syria and allow militants of the self-proclaimed Islamic State to wage war on the forces of President Bashar al-Assad. Furthermore, one of his other stances is to fight the Islamic State with a coalition of Western and Arab states. Furthermore, he wants to conduct more U.S. airstrikes, establish a no-fly zone over parts of Syria, and increase U.S. ground forces in Iraq and Syria.